Next Hills here on the draft special. They take Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, the Philadelphia Eagles. The quarterbacks were the storyline, though, when you take 6 in the first round and as high as they did. Bo Nix, also Michael Penix. It just shows you the panic that these organizations have. I think this is one of the worst groups of quarterbacks I've ever seen, and I'm not even sold on pink fingernails. So, I mean, he never won anything. Get this, the only guy in this draft that has won anything has been the guy from Michigan. And he is the biggest risk of all the quarterbacks. I think the draft is really at the bottom of the draft here. And Teron Arnold just went to the Detroit Lions. That's another quality player from a quality program that is going to help a rival of the Philadelphia Eagles. You took the bigger risk with your selection. You may have taken the better athlete, but the better athlete is nothing to do with who's the better quarterback, cornerback, offensive tackle. You're looking for football players, not divas, and you're not looking for workout warriors. And I'm not saying Mitchell is that. On April 25th, that would be completely unfair for me to sit there and say that that guy is not going to bring something to the Eagles. However, he is the only non-Power 5 guy in the draft in the first round. No one else will be selected. It's a massive gamble at a position that has enormous failure and at a position that Howie has failed his entire career as a talent evaluator. I mean, I get the ranking. He's ranked in my book the 7th best player in the draft. They got him at 22. Can you pass on that? I don't want to take the 3rd best edge rusher versus the 1st best corner in the draft. He did it right. So you can't really kill him. Mitchell showed out versus Power 5 wide receivers at the Senior Bowl. He did. Personally, I think the draft, 85, showed us that the Eagles looked at the Mobile game, the Senior Bowl, and also his combine. And then that game against Marvin Harrison, they took those 3 things, and they liked it. By the way, for the record, I like the story. I like the story. He showed loyalty. You know, here's the story. Quinyon Mitchell could have went and was offered by Florida, Georgia, Texas A&M. He was offered over $1 million in nil money. And he turned it down because he loved the coaching. He loved the fact that those people, remember something, he was a non-qualifier. Do you know what that means? He was a non-qualifier coming out of high school. He had to get his grades up, and the only program that stuck with him was Toledo. No one was going to give him a full ride to go to Florida or Tennessee, and he showed loyalty. I'm not saying that that's not a great – it is. It's a great story. Yeah, but you're wrong. See, Clay goes like this. Asante Samuel came from a small school. Asante Samuel came from a time in college football that is completely different than today. I mean, Darrell Green came from Texas A&I. Nobody's getting drafted in today's NFL in the first round from Texas A&I. That's not happening because of transfer rules, because of nil. If you're a good player, say it, let's just use Temple. If you're a good player at Temple and an SEC school comes calling you and they want to pay you $1.5 million to come play at Ole Miss, you're going to stay at Temple so that you can go to Geno's and sit out front selling wedges? That's not going to work. I'm going to go to an SEC school and go to Ole Miss where I can make $1 million, be coached by the best players in the country or coaches in the country, and play against the best players in the United States. Going to small schools today, that's not where you recruit anymore. Even Sauce Gardner a couple of years ago, college football has changed so much. Again, I like the story. When I watch the kid play, he shows a lot of great metrics. He shows a lot of great. Hey, and I'll say this to you too. They addressed defense with the first pick, and they did it with a corner. Okay. You can't kill the Eagles for that. Sills, you wanted defense? We drafted defense. Sills, was cornerback one of the needs? Yep. Did we address it? Yes. How do you know if the kid's not going to be good? I don't. I can't sit here and tell you 11:14 Eastern time that kid sucks, and I won't do that. He doesn't even have an Eagle helmet yet. Wait, T. Will goes, he's a player, Sills. We'll see. Right now, he's meat. They thought Nolan Smith was a player. He's not, or hasn't shown it. Cody says loves the pick. Or do you love the, here, Cody, do you love the pick because of the player, or do you love the pick because of the need? Okay? Senor goes, stop critiquing it then. Senor, this is what I do for a living, dude, is critique. This is one of the things I've done for 40 years, is critique. I'm not telling you it's a bad pick. I'm telling you it's a risky pick. Nolan Smith, get this. Senor makes my point. Nolan Smith came from the SEC and he sucks. Quinyon Mitchell came from the Mid-America Conference. What do you think his chances are at a position that has 64% failure rate? What do you think there's a 70% chance with Howie Roseman and the way his history is on picking corners that he fails 70% of the time. That is a high-risk pick, is all I'm saying. Nolan Smith played in the Southeastern Conference. Now, DRC brings up something that I dig. Sills, he's a Florida dude. Why didn't he go to FSU? Oh, because of grades. That's right. He was a non-qualifier. Okay. So picking SEC doesn't always work out, does it? No. That just tells you, but you're missing. He's trying to change the narrative. You have a better chance of drafting in the Southeastern Conference and landing on a kid who's going to make it than you do with Mid-America guys. Name me a Mid-America guy that has gone on to be a superstar player in the last 3 years with the way college football has panned out. Who? Miami of Ohio, Eastern Michigan? Who? In the Mid-America Conference? Name me one guy. Again, I'm not killing the kid. I'm killing the kid where he came from. He may be the next Sauce Gardner. He may be the next guy like that. Okay? He may. Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, and Kobe Dean from the SEC. And they stink. He's making my point. Those are the elite players from the elite conference, and they stink. And you think a guy in a conference that nobody cares about anymore and most likely will fold, you're going to get a superstar player out of that. Okay. Agreed. Pick is not good or bad yet. It's just risky. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. It's just risky. It's a risky pick. There's a better chance Arnold, who plays against the best kids in the country. Cincinnati's not Mid-America, dude. It's Conference USA when he played in it. It's a little better. Do you understand that Quinyon Mitchell played in one of the worst conferences in the United States of America? Mountain West, MAC, Mid-America Conference, Sun Belt. Those are shitty conferences. Nobody plays in those conferences that are worth the shit in the first round. Nobody gets drafted in the first round from those conferences. Maybe Mid-America. Nobody from Mid-America went this year. Nobody from Sun Belt went. Only one guy from Mid-America, him. Okay, good luck to you at a high-rate position. Arnold is a safe pick, right? Now, again, watch this. Once again, on April 25th, I want to say this one more time to you guys. This guy may turn out to be the next Brian Dawkins. Howie rolled the dice. Let's do this. Let's do this. And let's compromise on one thing. Hey, Howie, you rolled the dice on running back with Saquon Barkley. You rolled the dice on the first round with a Mid-America Conference football player and Quinyon Mitchell, okay? You drafted a guy for the first time since Lito Shepherd in the first round of corner. It's the first time in 8 years you've drafted. No, it's the second time you've drafted a corner in the first 2 picks. You drafted 4 linemen and 1 cornerback going into this draft tonight. And you drafted your second one in the first round. Okay, I'm not going to kill you for taking swings. Not killing anybody. I'm making a point that that's risky. That's it. Nothing more. There's no way on the planet I am going to sit here at 11:20 Eastern time and go, that kid sucks. Absolutely not happening. Absolutely not happening. Which receiver are the Bills giving Josh AFC Championship Eastern Division 4 years in a row, you mean? With a higher win percentage than Hurts and a 10 times better player? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. The good quarterbacks make shit receivers look great, unlike your guy. Don't worry, senor. You need to have 2 $50 million wideouts to make your guy look halfway decent. You imagine that? You have 2 $50 million guys combined, and your quarterback can't throw for 3,900 yards. You think you got a problem there? Your quarterback is the worst player in your offensive huddle. I mean, let's be candid here. When your wide receivers are better than your quarterback, don't you think you have a shitty – get this, weakest AFC division. Oh, wait, I forgot. The greatness of Daniel Dimes Jones and Sam Howell and Dak Prescott in the NFC East. Wow. Holy shit. Hey, knock us down. Talk about elite quarterbacks. Dimes Jones. Who's the quarterback in Washington? Hook me up, senor. I don't know. What is it? Who's the quarterback? Oh, Jacoby Brissett's in New England. Who's the quarterback in Washington? Who's the quarterback in Washington? I must have forgot. Darius Robinson goes to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals got an edge rusher, and they got Marvin Harrison. They're going to be good. By the way, can you imagine this? That Cardinal team beat the piss out of you, and they had nobodies and backups. And now they're getting players, and they got, 9 more picks. Pretty good stuff here, man. Absolutely. Woo! Watch the Eagles trade for a player tomorrow. With what? Okay. That would be great. Sam Howell, he looked like Tom Brady against the Eagles defense. He looks like Tom Brady. Holy cow. Falcons finesse the Saints. Michael Penix, I don't get that. Michael Penix, you just gave a guy $200 million. I don't know. I don't know. The NFC got new quarterbacks. Who? Did the NFC got new quarterbacks? Who did they get? Caleb Williams, pink fingernails, and who else did they get? J.J. McCarthy? These guys are scrubs. J.J. McCarthy's a good Johnny Manziel. Come on, man. Give me a break here with this. Jaden Daniels at Washington, I agree with you, Xander. I think he could be pretty decent, too. I think he could be. Sam Howell threw for 700 yards versus the Birds' defense. Absolutely, man. Hey, 700 yards. Thurston Howell, the third, threw against you guys. Guy could be better than Hurts. That's not too much of a stretch. A lot of people are better than Hurts. Hurts is the 15th best quarterback in the league. He's in the middle there somewhere. He's somewhere in there. Other than that, you have to have superstar talent around him. That's why you gave A.J. Owens his baby money. And we cried a little bit. Screamed, cried, kicked my feet up, spit my beak out, got my money. All good. So, Dan, you're telling me you will take Hurts over all of those quarterbacks? Yeah, I would take Hurts over Dimes Jones and Sam Howell and probably Dak. Yeah. Gee. Woo. Wow. Are you crazy? Bills traded down with the Chiefs. Wow. You think they take that kid from Texas, that quick kid? They need a receiver. Both places need a receiver. You watch this. I bet they take that kid Worthy because Mahomes likes that kid. They're going to take a receiver. Or they could get an old lineman in there. Okay, Dan, we got both our second rounders. I hope they go linebacker in there. T. Will, yeah, AJ stays because he cried. My God. I bet you they take Xavier Worthy. The kid that's that speed demon, that's the next Tyreek Hill. Watch. They take that kid. I'll bet you anything they take him. Shit, Patrick Mahomes was working out with him a couple weeks ago. Jaden Daniels might be solid, but he had one great. I agree. I'm not sold really on any of these guys. I like McConkey, the kid from Georgia. Trotter. Dude, Trotter's a third or fourth round. Trotter's a third or fourth round. Josh Allen had a stacked team, couldn't win. Stacked team? DRC, stacked team? Where? Who? Who in that team is stacked compared to Jalen Hurts? Are you crazy? Nobody has been given more talent than Jalen Hurts in Eagle history. And he still can't throw for $4,000. Okay? And he still can't throw for 25 touchdowns. Guy's average. He's average. The kid Guyton from Oklahoma is really good. Like him. Hey, get this. If Cooper DeJean falls in the second round, do you draft him too? Go two corners? I don't know, man. You're going to be right up there if you could do that. Jalen Hurts got stacked this year. Relax. Really? 5,000 passing yards. Holy shit. Let's see if he gets over 3,900. Sills, it's draft night. Come on, let us enjoy. Okay. Right. You're right, Prince. You're right. I agree. It's a great night. You got a player. You got a need. You got a guy who looks like a really good athlete. Absolutely true. Prince, you're right. It can't be looked at any other way than what I just said. My only problem was the risk, but when you look at the player and his tape, how about this with Mitchell? When you watched him at the Senior Bowl, he excelled and he stood out. When you watched him on his tape, he stood out. When you watched him at the Combines, he stood out. His interview, by all accounts, was great. His visit into Philly was great. Right. All the boxes check. All the boxes check. Absolutely. Eagles should draft Junior Colston. I like Junior Colston, Frankie. The Michigan linebacker, I like him. I do. I like him a lot. DeJean at 50 for sure if he's there. Boy, Senor, if that guy's sitting there at 50, I'm taking his ass too. I'll go corner, man. That's too good just to pass on him. You know, you're going to get one of the guys. Cooper DeJean is rated as the 23rd best player in the draft. You get him at 50, take him. Take him. Because then you also had your bet with Quinyon. You know what I'm saying? If Quinyon doesn't pan out, DeJean will. Or if DeJean doesn't, Quinyon does. You had your bets. So you're good there. Quinyon Mitchell has quick twitch. He does. Did you ever watch him? I have. That's half the reason he was ranked so high. Speed, agility, and all the rest of it. I got it. He just didn't play against anybody. Okay? And he plays in one of the worst conferences in the country. It's kind of like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz playing at North Dakota State. I don't know. I'm not drafting anybody out of that school. Just not. And he wasn't horrible. But I get it. Reek goes, Dan, you would suck at GM. You mean like your GM when it comes to picking defensive players? He's horrific. Don't talk to me about that. Once you turn that around and look at your general manager when it comes to drafting defensive talent, he's horrible at it. It's actually unbecoming of a GM. So don't let me go there. I want to do what my friend Senor said. Enjoy yourself. Calling me a bad GM? Your GM has been horrific on defense. Did Worthy go? Did Worthy go to Kansas City? Worthy to KC? That's a Patrick Mahomes pick. That's a Patrick Mahomes pick. Because the other kid is ranked higher, the other wide receiver from Texas. He's ranked higher. But Xavier Worthy was the fastest guy at the combines. Do you know what that pick is actually, too? That's kind of a slap in the face to Tyreek Hill because they think they got Tyreek Hill 2.0. Okay? They think they got Tyreek Hill 2.0 here. I agree, James. I watched him in those Texas games, especially in the OU game. He dropped a ton of footballs in that OU game. Other teams been horrible in the trenches. All teams have their weaknesses. Yeah, but Twiz, you can't pick a linebacker and you can't pick a corner to save your life in the last 30 years. It's not just a couple of years. It's 30. Teron Arnold went to Detroit. Now you know what's going to happen? Mitchell's going to be compared to Teron Arnold. And let's see what Arnold does, and let's see what Mitchell does. Quinyon Mitchell and Sauce Gardner will be the best corners in football for the future. Well, the best corners in Denver. He's not with the Jets. As much as you think he is, Gardner's not better than Patrick Surtain. He's not. It's quite frankly not close. And if they were so good, why did that defense get annihilated last year? I mean, they were destroyed. The Jets, how many wins did they have? 6? Come on, man. Lions have a better defense, Sills. They do. They got a better linebacking core, and their front four is getting better, and their back end now just got better too. Get this. They got better with this kid Arnold being added to the secondary here. I mean, yeah, hey, by the way, I heard Kirk Cousins wasn't even informed that they were going to take they were going to take a quarterback in this draft. And there was Arthur Blank, and we're high-fiving everybody. And he just gave $250 million away of his money. Okay. I mean, okay. How he blew at the Lions, traded up to get Arnold. I think Arnold's the pick. I think he's the pick too. We'll see, though. Again, here on April 25th, I don't think you could make that call here and say that. Arnold will be good, but not better than Mitchell. Why should not Alabama cornerbacks outside Surtain have not been great? Miller was a bust. Dude, you're missing the entire point. I'm talking Southeastern Conference. They play against the best players in practice and in Saturdays. So get this, Monday through Saturday, the cornerbacks and receivers in the SEC play against the best people every day. Quinyon Mitchell plays against one guy once a year. People on his team aren't going to get drafted. You think anybody in his team's going to get drafted in the first 5 rounds this year? No. I guarantee you this. Toledo may not have another player drafted. Tyler Guyton is a Cowboy. That's a really great pick for the Dallas Cowboys. They need a tackle after losing Tyron Smith. That's a really good pick, man. Good for him. That's a great pick. Those guys getting him and getting his ability to go to the Dallas Cowboys. They need offensive line. And I think he's a good football player, too. Oklahoma's been putting out some pretty good linemen. We know one right now in Lane Johnson. Penix needs to tighten his baseball windup. Who does Cincinnati play? The Bearcats are Conference USA. I think they just moved into another conference, though. Lions drafted Jack Campbell. That was last year. He was pretty good. He put a good season up last year. Jerry, I think that's a good pick for them. I really do. All right, Xander, we got a show tomorrow. That's going to be at 10 a.m. And we're going to follow Birds 365. Nick Saban said Quinyon Mitchell was his number 1 player last year. He wanted to get in the portal, and Quinyon would not get in the portal. That storyline right there is what really – so get this. Here's the deal with Quinyon Mitchell here, okay? He wanted him in the portal, which means this. Nick thought he was an SEC guy. Okay, he thought he was an SEC guy, which by the way, I'm not saying it's a horrible pick. I am not saying that. Not at all. And if anyone is getting that and it landed there, I didn't say it. I said it's a risky pick because he didn't play against really great people. I didn't say on April 25th, 11:36, that it's a bad pick. Okay? 85, Dan, who are you taking at 50 and 53? I'm going to go O-line and linebacker here at 50-53. And I'm going to parlay one of those 5th rounders in that 4th rounder, and I'm going to try to get in the 3rd round. Try to get another defensive player like an edge rusher. And I'm going to try to land on an edge rusher in that 3rd round. I don't want 5th rounders. Not that they're horrible. The Eagles have had great success, in my opinion, going into that 5th round and getting some really 5th and 4th rounds. Sirianni's back in the draft room. I mean, what's Fredo doing in there? Delivering lasagna? Is he, hey, dude, hey, Gulch says I'm being a downer. I'm not a downer. I haven't ripped the pick at all. I'm just giving you a realist look at it. Once again, Quinyon Mitchell, outstanding looking talent. His tape says a lot. His Senior Bowl said a lot. His interview went well. His visit in Philly went great. His combine was exceptional. I'm not sure what you want me to say. My only negative is that I don't like who he played against, and I don't like the conference he was in. That's it. Xavier Worthy is going to be nasty with Mahomes and Reed. Look what they did to Tyreek Hill. It would not shock me if Xavier Worthy inside of 4 years is the next Tyreek Hill. I mean, look what he did for him. Make no mistake about it. That is, you got the best play calling head coach, and you got the best quarterback since Brady. So, I mean, all good. All right, Xander, tomorrow, 10 a.m., we're going to have more response. We're going to be able to look at all of the NFL draft. So it's 10 a.m. tomorrow. Don't forget, we're not going on 2 to 6. My daughter's graduating tomorrow. So I'm going for an hour. That'll be tomorrow. And we'll get full response on all 32. And we'll also be able to comment more on what people have been saying. Quinyon Mitchell has a great story, guys. He really does. He has an absolutely great story. All right. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on JAKIB. The only place you'll catch Big Sills is right here. We'll see you tomorrow morning.